FM News on point.
The news I'm Lynn Komjisha. The opposition candidates have cautioned police against blocking them during the nomination exercise. The FDC party flag bearer, Member of Parliament, Kampala Central Harold Kaija, stated that police has on several occasions blocked their activities instead of giving them security and guidance. Kaija made the remarks as he set off from Kagugwe parish in Ntinda for nomination.
My call to the police is that we are moving from here to Ntinda. We only request them to only give us guidelines, clear our way. We are not going to stop in Wandegea or any other place. Our destination is Ntinda. So it would only be bad for them to go and start putting barricades in the road to stop us from our way. That is what will cause jam. That is what will cause confusion.
Candidates from 4 constituencies in Wakiso District have been nominated at the Wakiso District headquarters. The Wakiso District Returning Officer Tolbert Musinguzi says all aspiring candidates from Kira Municipality, Machinde Sewagabo, Chadondo East and Wakiso District Woman Member of Parliament met all the requirements. He urged aspirants for the remaining 4 constituencies of Busiro North, Busiro East, Busiro South and Entero Municipality to do the same tomorrow in order to avoid inconveniences.
The exercise today has moved on well. The number expected of the candidates who had picked nomination forms from my office has turned up. We expect a few more before the close of the day. The arrangement of the papers was okay. We have no issues for now.
The National Election Watch Uganda, a non-government organization, has condemned the attacks on the National Unity Platform offices in Kamwokya by security agencies. Yesterday, security agencies mounted an operation at National Unity Platform offices and confiscated attires similar to army garments, among other stuff. Father Constantine Mbonabinji, the chairperson of the organization, said the conduct of these security agencies was unconstitutional and called for civility when handling political-related issues.
As we head into this electoral period, we call upon all departments and agencies of government to respect the Constitution and electoral laws and guidelines, as well as people's rights to freely associate, assemble, and participate in elections.
The Japanese government, in partnership with the International Organization on Migration, has donated personal protective equipment worth 50 million Uganda shillings to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Among the items is gloves, walk-through sanitizing machine, gumboots, among others. The Deputy Ambassador of Japan in Uganda, Muzumoto Muhori, says they will continue extending all the necessary support to the government of Uganda to stop the rapid spread of COVID-19. Now, the Director of Citizenship and Immigration Control, Major General Apollo Kasita, said the equipment will be given to their staff at the 27 border points across the country. The ministry's spokesperson, Jacob Siminyu, explains further.
We received equipment for sanitizing people, taking temperatures at the entrance of the ministry, and we have received a lot of equipment for border management, those for health and those for technological advancement. So we are very grateful to the United Nations because UNDP is the one leading this process. We are also grateful to IOM and the government of Japan for giving us this equipment.
In sports news, FIFA has started testing players and officials who will participate in the playoff games starting next week at FIFA Technical Center in Njeru. FIFA teams from FIFA Big League and Women's Second Division League will be camping at Njeru for the playoff games that will take 5 days, where the winners will join Uganda Premier League and FIFA Women's Super League. FIFA spokesperson Ahmed Hussein says the 3-day testing exercise has started today and the teams will be tested at their respective areas.
Each club will have a 20-man contingent tested before they can enter camp. And the tests, of course, are being conducted in their respective regions, unless otherwise clubs decide to make it much nearer to the medical center. We believe that this will help us also follow the SOPs as set out by the Ministry of Health in the fight against COVID-19 as we head into the playoffs that start on Monday.
In other news, the group of 20 nations representing the world's biggest economies have agreed to extend the suspension of debt payments by an additional 6 months to support the most vulnerable countries in the fight against COVID-19. The G20 says the extension will provide ongoing relief for the $14 billion in debt payments that would have come due to at the end of the year otherwise. Wednesday's decision gives developing nations until the end of June 2021 to focus spending on healthcare and emergency stimulus programs rather than debt repayments. The G20 announcement was made initially on Twitter during a meeting of the group's finance ministers and central bank governors and later confirmed at a news conference. The virtual discussions are being held at the start of this week's meetings of the 189-nation International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which are also being conducted virtually because of the coronavirus pandemic. International aid groups expressed disappointment that more debt relief isn't being provided by extending the moratorium on debt payments, but for a full year or by forgiving part of the debt rather than merely suspending payments. In entertainment news, Lady Gaga will be back in front of cameras in the spring as she begins filming her next major movie, Gucci. The 34-year-old musician and actress will star as the murderess Patrizia Reggiani when shooting begins in March in Italy. The multi-talented star was previously nominated for an Academy Award for her lead performance in 2018's A Star is Born. Gaga's role as Reggiani will be a dramatic departure from her role as the aspiring singer-songwriter who was plucked out of obscurity. Reggiani was initially known as a socialite after marrying Maurizio Gucci, who became the head of the Gucci brand following the death of his uncle Rodolfo Gucci in 1983. In 1985, he left his wife Patrizia under the guise of going on a business trip but never returned after starting up a relationship with a younger woman. The couple finalized their divorce in 1991, but in 1995, she paid a hitman to kill Maurizio just outside his office. That was the news of
XFM News on point.